Aloha, Richard Halverson here. This is ICS321, and we are in the middle of finishing doing assignment number 2. And so in this video, I'd like us to go over assignment 3. Let's see. So we've done 1 and 2. Before moving on to 3, I just wanted to mention in assignment 2 here, the purpose of this assignment is to help us understand the differences between these normal forms and how when you do have a table or a database that's in what you may think is a good high normal form, uh, it's still possible to introduce anomalies, and so it's best to decompose into the highest normal form that you can. For question number 1, it was quite clear. This is just the supplier parts database, and the only dependencies we had were, let me see if I can, I guess this is an okay color. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. It's down here a little bit. We had this field determining this, determining this, determining this, and we had this field determining this, determining this, determining this, and determining this. But we had this particular field, this field plus this field, determining this. So the key, if we were just going to leave the table in this form, the key, the primary key would have to be this field plus this field. But we have these other fields that are only dependent on part of the key. And so this table does not even make second normal form because we've got fields, non-key fields, depending on only part of what the primary key should be. In question 2, we had this field determining these fields, and we had this field determining these two fields, and then we had this field plus this field determining the hours. And so again, this table itself is in first normal form. It's not even in second normal form because we've got these two fields depending on only part of the primary key, and these fields here depending on only part of the primary key. So in this case, we only had to divide it up into one table that looked like this, another table that looked like this, and then one last table that included this field, and this field, and we were done. In this case, though, if we were to just create one table with the employees and then another table with the projects, and then a third table to take care of this the number of employee hours per project, we still have a problem with the employee table though, because this employee table is in second normal form, no problem. There's only one the primary key is just one field, so if it's in first normal form, then by definition it's in second normal form because there is no partial key. However, we have a non-key field dependent upon another non-key field. You see, the zip code determines the city. There's no two cities that there's no two cities that share the same zip code. Cities can have multiple zip codes, but if you know the zip code, you for sure know the city. If you know the zip code, you for sure know the city. This is Eva Beach's zip code, and only Eva Beach's zip code, but it might not be Eva Beach's only zip code. Anyway, you get what I mean. So this table right here, okay, this table here is in BCNF. This table here is only in third normal form. It doesn't it doesn't make third normal form because it's only in second normal form. So it doesn't make third because we have a non-key field that's dependent upon another non-key field. Zip code is not a key field. It's a non-key field in this table. So uh, and later on in question 4, question 5, we can see that actually if a table is in BCNF, sometimes that doesn't completely help us. Well, in fact, questions 3, 4, and 5 are that way. Okay, let's get into question 3 here now. Question 3, the scenario is we have this restaurant, and this restaurant is run by this famous chef and sommelier who I guess knows about wines. And so we have this this the owner of this restaurant is very picky about the meals, and it turns out that if a certain main dish is going to be served, then there are only certain side dishes that will go along with the main dish. And there's only certain wines that will go along with the main dish. So in this case, we have salmon. If the customer wants salmon steak, then the only side dishes that are allowed are mashed potato or white rice. Okay, you cannot do baked potato. Not allowed. So salmon steak uh, will determine either mashed potato or white rice. Salmon steak also has to be served with a white wine. So salmon steak determines the wine. It can be either white wine or it can be either Pinot Grigio or Chardonnay, which are both white wines, but certainly not Cabernet Sauvignon, which is a red, and so is Pinot Noir. That's a red. So we have um, we have the main dish uh, determining the side dish, and the wine and the beef steak determining the beef steak. With the beef steak, you can have baked potato or mashed potato, but you cannot have rice. With beef steak, you need to have a red wine, so we either have a Cabernet, or a Pinot Noir here. Okay, so um, so these are called multi-value dependencies because it's there's a there's a dependency, but there's more than one. Now, this table here, this table here is in BCNF. Uh, it, it's what they call all key. The primary key is, let's see, let me erase this. The primary key is the main dish plus the side dish plus the wine, okay? Um, it cannot be just the main dish plus a side dish because we end up with we would have the first two records would be that would not be allowed. It cannot be just the side dish and the wine because we can certainly have Chardonnay. Let's see, Pinot, mashed potato. Well, anyway, that doesn't work, and we cannot have so there's no pairs that work. We need to have all three. A salmon steak does not just determine that the wine is Pinot Grigio. There's more than one. So salmon steak does not fully determine the wine. It only partially determines it. So when we have these multi-valued dependencies, then uh, a table like this that's just in BCNF does not work because it is still possible to add a meal into this table where there's an anomaly. You see, there's redundancy in this table. This table is is in BCNF. It's all key, but it's still redundant. Namely, salmon steak there's a relationship between salmon steak and mashed potato. In fact, white rice, the only main dish in this case that can be served with white rice is a salmon steak. So this table needs to be decomposed. And how 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 does it can be decomposed? Well, we can have a table. We can have salmon steak. Uh, we can have one table that just has main dishes and side dishes, and we can have another table that's got main dishes and wine. And then when you when you naturally join those two tables, we end up with valid uh, valid triples or valid main dish, side dish wine that fit the rules. Now, that's the same thing we do. So now the difference between if we have this case with both these multi-value dependencies with both fourth normal form and fifth normal form. Okay, so here we're talking about fourth normal form and fifth normal form. With fourth normal form, when you naturally join the tables back together again, you get valid tuples. You don't get all the tuples. If it's fifth normal form, then you get all the valid tuples. In fifth normal form, is it's it's join dependent, which means you join the tables together, and that gives you all of the valid tuples in the set. Whereas with fourth normal form, you join these tables which represent multi-value dependencies. You join those together, and you end up with uh, tables, or you end up with tuples that fit the rules, but might not necessarily be in the set that we're talking about. So it's possible to create main dish, side dish, wine combinations. Let's say we had more of them. It'd be possible to create combinations that fit the rules, but might not necessarily be on the menu that evening. See, these rules between these multi-value dependencies between main dishes and side dishes and main dishes and wines uh, define valid meals, but don't define all the meals. All right, so let's see. How do we decompose this? Well, we do it the same way. First, let's create the database. So let me switch over to a different this is Firefox. I think it's easier to select. In Firefox, I use Edge to draw. So we're going to create a database called this. Let's do copy. And let me go over to my cPanel. Let me go to MySQL databases. And let me create this database. Okay. So now I've got my 3 databases here for my assignment. Let's go back to PHPMyAdmin. And on the left here now I've got my 3rd one. And so I am going to, as before, I'm going to import this table, copy, and I got to bring up Excel, bring up a blank worksheet, do paste, and there's my table here, and so I'm going to take this now, copy it, copy, and paste it into a new blank text file, and it pastes in tab delimited when I copy from Excel like that. And so let me save this out, save as, and I'm going to name it q3.csv, even though it's not a .csv file. I do that for the sake of importing using PHPMyAdmin. And so let's go back over here into my PHPMyAdmin. I'm at the database here. I'm going to import browse q3.csv, It automatically sets this at CSV. It's not comma, it's \t. And the first line of the file does contain the column names. Go. And here we have our table. So let's rename it. And I'm going to rename it original. And I'm going to make it be INNODE. And let's go to structure, and I'm going to make them, I'm going to change this to varchar, I don't know, 50. Could have a very long name, or I don't know, some description or something, and as defined, nothing, and it cannot be null. Save. And this one also can be varchar 50. It's silly it's so big, but that's fine. Not null. Save. And the last one also can be the same. As defined, null, not null. And there we are. And so our, and the, 250, I'm going to change that back to 50. I'm going to put, I don't want these spaces here. I'm going to do underscores there. How's that? An underscore there, and an underscore here. Oh boy, this is going to cause me a problem when I grade. Well, I'll deal with it at that time. So this you can leave, if you leave it a space, then you have to put those back ticks. Okay. So in fact, you know, I should probably show you how to do it if you do leave the spaces there. So I'm going to leave the spaces there just to show you how to do it. You actually can have spaces in your column names. All right, so structure. Oh, and the key. This is all key. It won't work if you try to make this the key. It'll say bam, cannot. It's as they say, all key. So it takes all three of these to make the primary key. And so here we have all the keys, and browsing looks like this. All right, so so let's we have to split this up into one table that's got main dish and side dish, and another table that's got main dish and wine. Okay, and then when we natural join them together, we end up with the table back. So let's create. I have an original, and I do operations, and let's create a copy of this, calling it main space side. No, I just main underscore side. That'll be the name of this table, and I just want the structure. And I want to make another one called main wine, just the structure. Okay, and go back to your original, and so main side would be backtick main space dish backtick comma backtick main space side dish backtick. So that's how you use, if you have spaces in there, then you enclose it in backticks and it works. So if we look at this, we end up with all that. Wait a second. Oops. Side dish. Okay, let's look at this. We end up with this. Okay, and of course that won't work because we have got to distinct it. and we get this. Beefsteak can with beefsteak you can have a side dish of either baked potato or mashed potato, and with salmon steak you can have a side dish of either mashed potato or white rice. Okay, so that is what's going to be our main side. So let's edit this and do insert into main side. That. See if it works. Oh, I forgot to delete the rows out of here. Okay, so we have three count. We only want two. We just want main and side. So let's delete the wine. Okay, and then for main wine, we want just main and wine and delete the side dish. All right, now let's go back and let's do insert into main underscore side. Select backtick main dish, backtick comma, backtick main side, backtick, no, side dish, space dish, backtick. Okay, go. Oh, what am I doing wrong? Main side, main dish, side dish. Oh, I forgot to distinctify this. There we go. There we go. So main side now looks like this. Main side. And it's all key. It's all key, yeah, just like that. And so main wine is empty right now, and main wine is going to be select main dish, comma, side on a wine. We don't need the backticks, but we can put them there. Looks like that. And of course, there's duplicates, so let's distinct it. And of course, that looks like that. That's what we want. So now let's put insert into main underscore wine. That. All right, so now we've got our main side and our main wine and our original. And what happens if we select from original, no, select from main side, natural, join main wine? We get back with original? I guess we do. So let's make this into a, let's make this into a view. Create view, view original. We're going to name it view original. And as that, okay. And so if we go back here and click PHP My Admin again, so we get to see everything under question 3. We see we've got tables, we've got the views here. And view original should look the same as original. And we can sort of confirm that by going, original is 3 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. View original is 3 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when we natural join the two, we get 1, 2, 3, 1, and we get the same thing back. All right, so that takes care of the third one. So we see in the point of this one is we started out with 3 tables. I mean, we started out with a table that's in BCNF, and it's in BCNF because it fits all the criteria for BCNF. There's no non-key field. Well, there's no non-key field at all, so there's not. So we aren't even talking about any second normal form or third normal form because that has to do with non-key fields. In BCNF, we also have no no key field. No, it's possible to have a key field dependent upon another key field. The key field, well, anyway, when all the when all of the fields in BCNF are when all of the fields are key fields, then it's by definition in BCNF. So, but you see, we could still have anomalies, and you could still this form does not preserve the rules of salmon steak only allowing mashed potato or white rice, and salmon steak only allowing Pinot Grigio or Chardonnay. It doesn't preserve those rules in this table. So we decompose this BCNF into two more tables that are not only in BCNF, but they're in 4NF. And so there's no multi-value dependencies. In 4NF, uh, uh, every multi-value dependency is implied by the keys of R. So, uh, so in these, yeah. So the keys are, well, this table is all key, and this table is all key too. So they're all four of them are all three of them are not only in BCNF, but in this case it's also 4NF um, because the all of the uh, all of every multi-value dependency is implied by the key. So they're all there. Anyway, so I hope this helps you with question 3, and I'll close this video out now, and I will start another one for question 4. Thanks for watching.